Hi there, thank you so much for watching this video. So this is my new Death Star trench run MOC, something that I've been working on recently and very excited to have finished. It's mini scale on the front, as you can see, and then when we flip it around we have a minifig scale Death Star corridor. So what I'd like to do in this video is I'll talk to you about this, how I made it, why I made it. But before I get into the detail, we'll look at the TIE fighter swinging there on his axis. Before we get into the detail, let me tell you that this is just one small part of a huge MOC that I am designing. So this is obviously based on episode 4. I'm going to be making a MOC that covers off the key scenes from all 9 of the Star Wars movies. Each episode I might have multiple scenes, and each scene will be at least one 48 by 48 plate like this, or often there will be 2 or even 3 48 by 48 plates depending on the scene. So that means it will be bigger than the room that I am in at the moment. So I'm doing them in a way that they are modular, a bit like the modular city buildings where I can build a scene and it will connect to each other when it's complete, so I can display the whole MOC in any order that I like. Might be I do it in film order, might be I do it in order of my favourite scenes or so on. But the modular idea is just so that it makes it more manageable for me to build, and also keeps things fresh. So I can build a scene, I finish that, I move on to the next scene, and that is my plan for the year. So this is something that you like the sound of and want to be part of, because I'm always open for comments, ideas, suggestions, how to build, what to build and so on. Then hit that subscribe button and let's go on this journey together and see where we get to. Okay, some detail on the trench scene. Where shall we start? So let's start with the greebling. So there is a lot of greebling on this MOC, as you can see, and most of it's dark grey, dark stone grey. I chose that colour because I've got a lot of it, and I used the black to give it a little bit of mixing it up with a bit of an accent colour. I think it works pretty good. The greebling was surprisingly good fun to do, because I could put my hand in my spare parts of darkstone grey and whatever I took out worked. So we've got all sorts, and we've got slopes, we've got grills, we've got grates, we've got chassis of Lego City cars, Technic parts, tiles, you name it, it's on there somewhere. And it just worked really well. So I tried to keep some things consistent, like the use of these, and put a few random bits in every so often, like the circular parts here. And yeah, it was just really good fun. So we've got ground level, we've got a side level, so you can imagine behind this is a bunch of bricks and the plates on using the snot technique stuck to the side, so I could actually lift sections of this off entirely. I think there's 3 sections here, so that was fun to build. In terms of, whoa, steady on X-Wing, in terms of the ships, so this one here is a set number 9617, I think. It's one of the ones that came with the planets and a Luke Skywalker figure, so that's just a straight set. These 2 are mixtures of sets and my own bits. So the Y-Wing is largely based on a set that came with the Lego magazine a couple of years ago, a few of my own tweaks, and the TIE Interceptor, this is Darth Vader's TIE fighter, that's pretty much my own creation. I did look into TIE fighters that were around, but couldn't find any where the scale of these 3 vehicles matched, so I have looked into how does an X-Wing compare to a Y-Wing, how does a Y-Wing compare to a TIE fighter, and so on, and roughly the these match in terms of size. So that was what I wanted. And then on the top we've got the big guns. The Y-Wing and the X-Wing are doing the right thing by staying low in the trench. They've only got the mini guns to deal with, but the big guns can cause some damage, so staying out of their reach. And of course the problem for the X-Wing, or for Luke, is that Darth Vader is now on his tail and is gonna come after him. So hopefully he'll be okay. He will be okay. He destroys the Death Star in the end. Boom, you know how it all works. Okay, let's take a look around the back. So, I suppose strictly speaking, this corridor isn't movie accurate, so it's just a random corridor as opposed to any of the real corridors that you would see in the episode 4 Death Star, but I have tried to create one of the scenes, which is 2 stormtroopers. They're not real stormtroopers. I think you know who these stormtroopers are. Transporting Chewie, pretended to be a prisoner. That's how they move around the Death Star. We've got a mouse droid, and we've got a couple of random stormtroopers patrolling the corridor. These, in my kind of story as I was building this up, these are jail cells, hence the dark doors. These are, you can see these are just grated pieces. They look quite effective when they're all put together. And we've got the control center for the jail. This would light up when someone's in the jail. And we have lots of nice tiled pieces for them to walk on. Tiles are so important when you're building MOCs, especially Star Wars MOCs, because they finish everything off. Especially if you're doing an interior, you're always going to need a lot of tiles. And I guess the best part about this is this here. So this is this is in the movie. So when the characters are walking around the Death Star, they have this in the background a lot, and it's really quite easy and effective to build. So it's not technique. It's kind of plugged in here, and it runs all the way to the back of this. And then the second one plugged in here and runs all the way to the back of this, and it's just plates and bricks and finished off with tiles so that they move in together. And well, okay, I'll show you a secret. So they don't join up perfectly, but the part here that I designed, or this little look here I designed, covers off the gap, so that works really nicely. And you can see here, so depending on how the overall MOC works, I can put a peg here and connect that to the next part of the MOC, and I can do that on each side. So it just gives me lots of options of how I'm going to display things going forward. So there we go. I hope that was enjoyable for you. If you've got any questions on this, then just let me know in the comments. Any ideas for the next section I'm going to build of the MOC? So it's going to be, it's either going to be Empire Strikes Back, and it will be Hoth. If you're familiar with my channel, you'll know I've got some experience of building Hoth, and that means I've got all the pieces already, so I don't need to buy anything in, which is a big plus. Or there is another scene of episode 4 that I want to add to this. I won't say what it is yet, but I do need to get hold of a vehicle to help with that before I can build that. So I'll probably crack on with Hoth next, and then quickly follow up with the second episode 4 scene. Hoth will be on 2 of the 48x48 plates, and it'll be really interesting to see how it connects into this one when it's done. Cool. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching and listening. Hope everything is going well for you with whatever Lego that you are building or looking into, and let me know what you think about this in the comments. Thanks very much, everybody. Bye bye.